Oh, hey. Look, it's the three of us that are playing tonight. So we got me, and we got Alfir, and we have two slash nameless slash whatever Sasha feels like being tonight. Or whatever Miser says Sasha feels like being tonight. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
So we left off. Arendira told you that the turtles, looking specifically at Stabbem, are giving issue to the Sahagin and forming an alliance to keep Aquarian safe from demons and all this other stuff, and maybe even mind control.
Oh my.
Uh, Iris, who is just not agreeable with some things going on right now, was basically told, well, if you don't like this, then just walk off, which Iris looked at Arendira and said, okay, I will, and walked back into the water with her like 24-hour water breathing spell, presumably to go back up to Rin on the boats. And now Izel, Sasha, Alfir, and Stabbem are all just kind of standing there with that big group of Sahagin, Sasha being surrounded by them.
I want to point out, I've pulled this potato out of my bag and done that thing like where dogs follow the ball. I try to do that and then put it back in my bag.
They give you dumb looks. Like they don't actually follow the potato like it's a ball,
Okay.
like a dog would. They just look at you directly and like they know you're fucking with them now.
Okay. I mean, the potato's back in the bag.
Always keep the potato in the bag.
Arendira, close to Azel, actually goes back over to Alfir and the rest of you guys and says, so we need to hopefully quell things between the Sahagin and the Turtle so that we can all go to the island.
Okay. Where are they?
If you'll follow me, I can at least. This might take a while. You might be here a bit. Would you like to go to the inn first and drop your things off, and then come with us, or you guys all good?
I travel light.
And apparently with potatoes.
Rations are boring.
Potatoes are light.
I could argue that a sack of potatoes is not light, but we'll go with that.
It's one potato.
It was 2 potato.
How many potatoes is a sack of potatoes?
And more than 3.
I think it depends on how big the potatoes are.
Or how small the sack is.
I like to imagine this argument is actually happening.
This argument is happening. What are you talking about? Anyways, I only bring it up because one of your cousins has been looking forward to seeing you, and he's currently at the inn. Looking at Stabbem saying this.
Oh, no.
Let's go to the inn. Let's go to the inn.
Let's go to the inn.
You have family?
Adopted family.
They don't think it's adopted, but we'll go with that.
This should be
I
fun.
adopted all of them.
So you guys walk through Aquarian. It is, as far as underwater cities in a bubble go, there's not really anything new to be expected for the players. Any character, though, on the other hand, that hasn't really done much traveling underwater, this is all brand fucking new to you.
Yeah.
And their light sources and everything they use, like there's glowing moss and things like that. There's just a bunch of differences that you would not see at all in the overworld. But you're led through the city and you're led over to the inn, and plastered on the sign is just Basham's establishment.
Oh, Cousin Basham. Yeah, it makes sense.
How does this make? Never mind.
He's-
Never mind.
He owned
I
the
have to
bar
see
where I
this.
grew up.
Okay.
Just don't. He might ask you to invest. Don't do it. Always fails.
Just out of curiosity, how many underwater taverns are there here?
At least one.
Who were you asking?
Stabbem. Clearly.
Okay.
I mean, if this is the only underwater tavern, this seems like a pretty successful.
So what you guys realize is that the Sahagin are still following you, and as you guys walk into the inn, you hear, "All right, you guys are all here for some drinks." He looks over and actually sees two things at first. Ah, hell, if it isn't Stabbem, it's been a while. And then he sees, following behind Stabbem, the Sahagin, and says, "Get the fuck out."
Wow.
Distant
Did you
cousins.
piss him off?
Distant cousins.
What do I see before me?
You see, if a turtle could be in a suit, it's a lot like that little front piece that Stabbem had going up to the castle. And a top hat and a monocle on this turtle, as he's sitting behind this counter, actually like filling up mugs of ale, or at least he was until he saw the Sahagin following behind you all.
You know, I can see the family resemblance.
Distant cousins.
This is amazing.
I mean, look at that shell. It's so clean and black.
Well, yeah, we all gotta wax our shells. We gotta keep them clean for the customers.
I see you are still somehow in business.
Oh, this is great. I've got all these customers of turtles here in acquiring. You know, you have no idea.
Stabbem, why don't you wax your shell anymore?
I do keep it waxed. I wax it every time we kill someone.
I see you're still in the bad habit of waxing your shell with the blood of your enemies.
It's not a bad habit. It's efficient.
You know there's actual wax you could use, right? I could sell it to you pretty cheap.
Yeah, I don't need your knockoff brand wax. Last time you tried that, you got run out of town.
This is why I have a tavern in acquiring and not in that other place. That other place was run down anyways.
Where was this other place?
Don't worry about it. You don't want to know.
I do want to know.
I do want to know.
There's something about some snake people. I don't know. They just didn't want my wax. They could have used it for their scales, and they said fuck no too. Which, by the way, get the fuck out. Except for Stabbem.
Have you ever tried? Have you ever tried selling snake oil to snake people? Like it, I hear it works great.
Oh my god! Don't give him many ideas.
Snake oil, you say? Wouldn't that be from dead snakes, though?
No. It's a term that we use on dry land.
Don't give him ideas.
Generally meaning
Deception?
what is my deception? Plus 13. Perfect. 26.
Okay, he's not gonna roll. He seemingly forgets that the Sahagin have actually followed you in, and funny enough, since the Sahagin can't actually understand what the fuck he's saying anyways, they don't leave. But he's pretty interested in the snake oil thing now, as Arendira actually walks up and says, all right. You were supposed to just set your things here for the day, and so we can move on. I'm glad that you met your cousin, but shouldn't we be moving on to more pressing matters?
Miser, I pull out that bottle of humanoid blood with a question mark on it that is getting close to its 24-hour mark. I got a bottle right here for you as a sampler.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Don't.
Low price of 2 gold.
Basham, we need 3 rooms for the night. We'll be back later.
Or a free stay.
How about this? I trade you those 3 rooms for that there snake oil.
Deal. And I hand over the humanoid blood.
You hand over the demon blood.
Can't possibly end poorly. All right, we'll be back later. Don't lose our stuff.
All right. So you guys all basically get given keys to your separate rooms. What you find about this establishment is that it was empty when you walked in, so all of the rooms are actually currently available too. And as you all walk into and investigate and inspect your rooms, it's a weird setup since they don't really have hay down in the sea for any bedding or any sort of material you think you could use for padding or whatnot. It's actually a bunch of just like seaweed.
Is it
So
still wet?
no, it's not wet, but it's like dried out seaweed that Basham is using to basically use as cushion for both the pillows and the bed as a whole for you guys to be able to
Nice.
lay on.
Ah,
I can't tell where the bed
we
ends
call
and
these
the pillow
sushi rolls
begins.
back home. You just wrap yourself up in them like a sleeping bag.
Okay, works for me. Slept on worse.
Guess it's better than the ground.
And otherwise, everything looks pretty normal except for you have like glowing greenish moss lamps for your little desk areas and things like that. And you all drop your stuff off in each other's assorted rooms, lock your doors. Izelle actually looks to all of you and says, "Well, who am I sharing a room with?"
Oh, I forgot that Azelle was with us.
I mean, we can bunk together. That works.
Thank you, Sasha.
The best thing about these beds is after you're done sleeping in them, you can eat them.
I taste the corner of Stabbem bedroll.
It tastes like dried seaweed and it does not taste very good. It's very salty.
Salt.
I think I'll pass on that.
Suit yourself, more for Stabbem.
As you go back downstairs, Basham immediately looks over to Stabbem and says, "Now don't be getting ideas about eating the beds.
You're not my mom. You don't even know my mom.
But I own this place, so don't eat my beds."
I thought you
I-
said you were cousins.
I won't eat the bed after sleeping in it.
How can you be cousins
I
and not
can't-
know?
Before sleeping in it either?
You don't trust me. Anyway, we have places to be. Let's go.
As you're walking out, he literally just goes, "When have I ever had reason to trust you?"
Now,
And
one
then he
time
looks over at the Sahagin too that also still have not left yet and says, "Get the fuck out!"
I pull out the potato. And
All
I
of the
point-
Sahagin immediately react to and start following Sasha again, though.
This is
distant
wonderful.
cousins.
Never leaving home without a potato again.
How long have you had that potato?
It's been a few weeks actually. Probably not very good.
So
Potatoes
the
last
potato itself
forever.
looks fine. The problem with it is you actually see it's growing some vines off of it.
I swear to God, if that potato becomes possessed and starts to attack us in our sleeps, I will kill you. The potato will not kill you. If the potato doesn't kill you, I will kill you.
Stab him, stab him, stab him. I have so many more things that could go horribly wrong than this potato. If you were to give me a vial of your blood, I could show you.
You're not getting a
That's-
vial of my blood.
That sounds like a trap. I'm
Witchcraft.
that sounds like a bad idea. A very bad idea.
Irandera agrees and says, "That does sound like a pretty bad idea. Why are you obsessed with blood right now?"
Because it does stuff.
I made a
I mean-
mistake, okay?
I've got a hand in a good smelling bag. you want to see?
I made a mistake. It requires
no,
a
I'd
vial
rather
of
not.
humanoid blood to fix.
Okay. I also have an eyeball of a Gorgon.
How the fuck did? How did you? Never mind. We need to go see your other
Things
cousins.
happened. Why? Do we have to?
Unfortunately, they're the main reason that this whole Sahagin turtle thing is not working in town.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow this isn't surprising to me.
Yeah, they
This-
can. Yeah. Yeah, let's go see him.
Smear Stabbem's clan the best thing ever.
This is amazing. This made going into the water just absolutely worth it. Just think of everything I would have missed if I would have stayed up on the boat.
God, not all of my cousins are here, I hope.
Is
Wait,
Lucy
is-
watching the stream or something? That was very on the nose.
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
that was
was-
so on the nose.
Hang on. It's just my cousins that are here, right?
We'll
There's
find out.
a whole
Wait, you have
population of
siblings?
turtle here. I mean, this is an entire city of turtle, and at the moment, potentially Sahagin, hopefully.
Okay, Stabbem, we need a quick rundown. What does your family consist of?
The closest ones that I got along with are mash 'em, slash 'em, bash 'em, and
Stab
punch
'em?
'em.
Wait, Basham.
Before you can even see this happening, as good as your perception is, you get clocked upside the head, or on the backside of your head, as you hear, "Hey, brother!"
Ah, shit. Stabbem's gonna take off running. Just bolt.
Before you get very far, give me athletics, opposed athletics checks.
Oh, Jesus. Probably at disadvantage, isn't it?
Yes, because you are running.
I rolled an 8 plus 7, 15.
You immediately get tackled to the ground and put into a headlock and noogied.
No.
Alfie leans over to Sasha.
What?
This is the best thing ever.
I mean,
So you guys have been walking through the city a little bit. Irandera actually paused to see this comical display because she was leading you guys and didn't see this happening until she heard the chunk of the clock to the backside of your head. And then you just bolted off and got tackled. Now she sees this happening.
Punch him, why?
Well,
I
you're
didn't
here to
do
visit,
anything.
aren't you? You're here to see your family?
I'm here.
And I see you're with the Sahagin, which means you're obviously taking the side of the Sahagin.
I have no idea what's going on.
they really like potatoes.
You know, your cousin's not gonna let him in town, right?
But why? Which cousin? Who's in charge?
You should know who's in charge.
Swear to God, did Grandpa die?
Grandpa just didn't make this trip. You know Masham's in charge here.
I thought you said you were close to Masham.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not on. Guys, to be honest, I'm surprised that the water's not on fire.
Why?
You guys see as much as a turtle can look slender, a slender-ish turtle stand up and literally just pull Stabbem back to his feet in the process. And it happened all in such a fluid motion that it almost seemed like they were just never on the ground to begin with. It just looked like she moved like a wave.
You know, Alfir, I'm starting to get a little worried here.
Yeah, I've never seen somebody do that to stab him like that.
That's because punch him is terrifying.
How does 2 feel about those?
2, if 2 was one of the dominant personalities at the moment, would be pretty envious, but 2 did not see that.
Oh.
All right, let's go see Masham.
I won't just be seeing mash 'em, we'll be seeing slash 'em too.
All right. Slashem's reasonable. Slashem's reasonable.
Yeah, but he's also taking the side of the Sahagin for some damn reason.
Cause he's not. You know what? Let's just go. Let's just go. Let's get this over with.
Arendara is, much like Alfred, nearly laughing her ass off. She contains herself respectfully for you to continue leading you to the city hall building, basically, for lack of a better word for it. You're led to the center of the city into what looks to be the hugest trident-shaped building you've ever seen. And the cool part about it that you see is at the apex of the middle point of the trident is actually some source that you can see emanating out from that is actually generating what this bubble is actually being formed of around the city.
Stabbem, which one of your siblings does the magic?
Mash him.
Okay.
Shit, I forgot my fireproof ring.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Wait.
Don't worry about it. Let's go see Masham.
Hang on,
Be fine.
you've now mentioned fire twice. Once with the sea being on fire, and now a fireproof ring.
Oh, don't be
Tear
silly.
down-
You can't light the sea on fire. Not for lack of trying, mind you.
Should we be
It
worried?
is for that lack of trying that I welcome you to Aquarin. As
Alfira,
Masham
I'm
walks
more
out of the
worried.
building. As Masham walks out of the building and immediately goes to give Stabbem a handshake. A very hearty handshake that he fails at. But he tries.
Good. I would like to attempt to crush his hand in mine as I shake it.
As you are shaking his hand and attempting to crush it, he kind of gives you a turtle wink as his hand starts getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter and too hot for you to hold.
I hate everything. I rolled a 17 on that too, so it would have been a plus.
Oh, you would have
it would've
easily
been
crushed his
22.
hand. His handshake was a fucking 3, dude.
I see you remember the last time we met.
One does learn from their mistakes.
Please don't
Welcome,
be on fire.
welcome, strangers. And Arendira, what have I told you about bringing these insects to my city? Arendira looks back at him and says, "We are all in need of help every now and then, and so are the Sahagin in this time. We've been over this. There is a demon attack that you are well aware of at this point. You would think that an alliance with them would help you both out. Ah, details. Spring it inside, I guess. Leave the fucking Sahagin out here." Sasha, you being the one that's kind of been leading the Sahagin around, that is up to you if you want to actually do that or not.
All right. I'm gonna take the potato from the bag. I'm gonna put it on the ground. And I'm gonna do a wait motion, and then I'm gonna follow them inside the building.
There is no wait. The closest one to you immediately pounces on the potato and then looks back at all the other ones protectively of it.
Oh shit! I'll have to deal with that later. My potato.
And then you see that Sahagin burst off down an alleyway with the potato.
All right. We're gonna need to replace that.
The rest of the Sahagin chase.
Guess
Okay.
that's one way to get them to stop following us.
I kind of missed my gaggle.
Punchum looks back and just says, "You know, you just let the Sahagin roam free in the town."
I'll get the potato back later.
Why are they obsessed with potatoes?
I really don't know. I had 2, now I have 0.
I guess it's a good weapon when we need them, though. Who knew? Potatoes. Oh wait, those don't grow underwater. Fuck.
Seems to be air here. could probably grow them inside this air dome.
Do you see sunlight here, boy?
Since when does a potato need sunlight? Have you ever grown a potato?
No, I haven't. What the fuck are you talking about?
You realize they're buried in the ground with no sunlight, right?
You realize I'm hardly ever above ground to know this shit?
Jesus, read a book. That
Underwater?
doesn't involve fire. Read a book that doesn't involve fire.
I'm not the fucking cousin here. You're fine. She clocks you back up the backside of the head again. You guys are led inside by Arendera again. Stabbem uncomfortably close to his sister. The rest of you kind of following along.
Stabbem will continue to try and edge away from his sister.
It's weird because as much as you keep trying, something about her fluidity of motion just keeps her that close to you at all times.
I'm in hell. I'm in hillbilly hell.
So you guys are... Sorry, turning up my AC for a moment. It's getting pretty toasty in the room. All right, you guys are led through this big building and up the left portion of, from what you could have seen outside, the trident-shaped building, into what looks like a pretty large office, and you see sat at one of the chairs a turtle that is donned in clerical attire. Looks like a white robe all the way around, and even his bulky shell. This is a really, really big turtle. And as much as turtles don't grow facial hair, you see what looks to be the scraggly few hairs of a beard and mustache growing off of this turtle.
Hey, Slash. I'm actually happy to see you, or at least happier than the rest.
Hello, Stabbem. What brings you here today?
A boat, actually. I'm an admiral now, or I was. I don't have
An
a boat
admiral.
right now.
That was some quick promotions. Weren't you only a captain last time I saw you?
Yes, sir. How'd you end up down here? Like, what
He
gives?
rose quickly through the ranks due to valor in the field.
Well, as you can tell, there's obviously a demon infestation going on up above world for some stupid reason. I don't know what the fuck caused it, but
Neither do
it's
we.
starting to cause problems.
Yes.
And I'm trying to get Brother Dearest here. Also, as much as you always like to say it, I can't believe he's my fucking relative at this point. To see reason and allow the Sahagin to stay in a quarantine so that we have some allies to combat the demons if they make it this way.
Sounds reasonable.
Uh-oh.
Why are they keeping them out? Has there been any reason, or is it just them being an ass again?
Well, the biggest reason is that Masham can't understand them.
You don't say. I never
So,
thought the day would come where Masham couldn't understand someone. I am so surprised. That aside, continue.
the chair behind this huge desk turns around and says, "It ain't for lack of trying to understand them. I just don't have the right fucking spell for the job. I just need that spell, and then I probably could allow them into the city. You guys won't see the fucking reasoning behind this."
Okay, have fun. Sorry, my wife was talking to me.
That was perfectly in line with this thing, though. I'm like, okay, well, we're out of this campaign then. Next.
Wow.
So you're missing a book.
There are no books in Aquarium. This is underwater. We can't get that shit here easily enough.
What kind of spell are you looking for?
At the moment, no one here can speak Sahagan, not even Arendira here. So comprehend languages would be the best thing I got.
Don't we have someone that can comprehend languages?
Not with us.
Oh, wasn't Isel still with us?
Is
I
that which?
mean, I could probe. This sounds like a bad idea. We probably don't want to go this route. But I could ask one of the many voices in my head if any of them speak Sahid.
Izel
Okay.
actually kind of flicks your shoulder and says, don't do that. That's a bad idea."
I mean, yeah, yeah, it is. No one would ever willingly do that. No, not at
Have,
all.
haven't you willingly done that a few times already?
Shh, Alfir, not now.
Looking at Izel's current spell list, Izel does not have comprehend languages.
I mean, they understand the language of potato well enough.
You see Masham kind of shift forward in his chair. Potato? What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah, yeah. How hard is it to get potatoes down here?
Well, how hard was it to bring your potatoes down here, apparently?
I kept them in a bag and they got here a-okay. Well, except for
Problem
the
with
two
that,
that were taken by the Sahajin. But
do you know of any people that would be importing potatoes underwater? We're kind of on our own right now for any sort of trade.
Basham would take it up if you convinced him.
I don't want to deal with Basham. He's doing his own fucking thing and probably failing at it.
Not wrong.
I'll be honest, he has a terrible business sense. He just took me at my word when I sold him something for room.
This
Really
is
hope
the
that doesn't
reason
come.
I don't want to take it up with Basham.
Are there no
Uh,
nearby items that can grant comprehend language?
As you are saying that, Punchum swiftly in one jump makes it over the desk in its entirety and lands while bonking Masham on top of the head as well and says, "Treat your cousins nicely already, damn it.
Hey, what'd you do that for?
You want one yourself?"
No, ma'am.
That's what I thought. And then, wow, your family's getting confusing to keep all in track of without having their names up. Slash'em says, "Unfortunately, it's not a spell that any of us here know, and I don't think it's necessarily needed to allow the Sahagin respite in our city. As much as there are other turtles here, someone is bound to be able to understand the language of Sahagin.
It's reasonable.
It's true.
Plus, somehow, if I'm not mistaken, they led you all down here. So how did that happen? How did you guys manage to actually get here?"
We
Uh,
mime a lot.
it seemed like a lot of charades.
So you were able to communicate with them.
Yes.
We know what calms them down. Almost leaves them with reverence, but hey. I'm out.
Anyways, as you can see, they're in the city, so it's not that big a deal. It's just the fact that they're basically refugees at this point. They don't actually have a place of their own. As far as I can tell, they don't have a place of their own to return to either. So I'm guessing demons have already attacked, and what you have seen is the last remnants of whatever Sahagin were there.
So we kill the demons.
And
No.
that's kind of part of why we're going to Toft eventually.
Mashim says, "Yeah, but we don't know where the damn demons are. Whatever fucking killed them were just shadows in the night."
Sounds like Shadow Demon.
Ha ha. It's like you gotta sassy mouth on you. You could just always just kind of say the first thing that comes to your mind there.
I don't think you understand. We are expert demon hunters. We have made a name for ourselves up on the surface doing this type of thing.
We have.
Yes,
We've
yes,
never
we
messed
have.
up a demon kill.
Shadow demons are real. I would show you in a book if I could get one down here, but I can't, as you so clearly know.
Well, regardless, I don't know why Arendera brought you all here. I mean, I'm not going to allow them into the city proper until I can actually understand what the fuck it is they want in full. So they can be welcome to their tents at the entrance, like I already allowed, and we'll be good there. Arendera says, but if you allowed them to actually have a hand in providing support to the defenses of the city, you'll be even more ready for the defense of when the demons attack. This is an obvious thing. Why aren't you seeing reason here?
Yeah, there were
And then
there were some pretty big Saiyan that came to see us on the boats.
I have plenty of clerics and witches too.
Yeah, they would be good to help out with defense. Some extra muscle and extra spellcasters can go a long way.
y'all just don't get it. Sahagin aren't nice by just existing. They just aren't nice at all to be around. They are very bad, and they will kill if given the chance. You're asking me to allow this evil race into our city to basically run amok. And then Punchum says, oh, but we already gave them a potato and they went into the city as it was. You did fucking what?
I was trying to train them. It didn't work. They have a potato. They have 2 potatoes. They can summon
Okay,
the
first
potato god
order
now.
of business. What's your name? Masham asks you, Sasha.
2.
2. Like the number 2?
Yeah, that one.
No, like the conversational too.
Like the TO2 or the TOO2?
The TOO2.
The
That's the other one.
TWO2. Listen, not to confuse me with another person that you may or may not meet soon. I am 2 TWO. The other one is going to be 2 TOO.
It might be the Greek two, just the et tu, Bruce.
I understand.
Okay. Cool. Moving on. Yeah, that's 2, and this one's Alfir. And the other one
Back
is the
on
Zell
fucking
Witch.
track here. 2.
Yes.
You have the most important mission in the city now of wrangling up the Sahagin that you let loose in the city.
I like where this is going. I just need a vial of your blood to do it.
What is it with you
You're
and
not
blood?
getting a vial of my blood. Get the hell out of here and go find those Sahagin before I kick you out of the city.
I go and leave.
Izel looks back and forth between Masham and 2 and says, I'm gonna go with 2 to help out in this because that's a bad idea that you're asking of her right there. And then Sasha, not blah, blah, blah. Izel follows 2 out.
Alright, Izel, I got a quick question. How capable are you of healing if shit goes down?
I don't heal.
Good. Good. Miser, how much damage would I have to self-inflict to fill a vial with my own blood?
This sounds like a terrible idea.
Oh my gosh. Well, roll roll an attack against yourself with advantage.
I'm assuming
Alright.
they're already out of the door by the time she's
Yes,
done.
this is asked when you guys
Okay.
leave.
Well, I rolled a base 15. I don't know what I'm adding to this.
You're attacking yourself
Okay.
with a relevant dagger that you might have on hand.
That's what I'm checking right now. I don't have a dagger, but can I summon my lightsaber as not a lightsaber?
I think it only comes out as a lightsaber now, doesn't it?
Can I borrow a dagger from
Does Izel have a
Aaron
dagger?
Izel
Or-
does have daggers.
Izel hands you a dagger as the intent, and Izel is actually really just wanting to see what happens from this, and is very curious now.
Alright, so I rolled a base of 15. I'm assuming I had 2 for dexterity.
Yeah.
Yep.
17.
And if you're
I am proficient with daggers, so
Yeah, you get your proficiency bonus and your it's basically your
so I hit.
weapon.
I hit.
All right, roll damage.
That's
Dagger is
1d4,
1d4, and I think it's plus your dex mod, so 1d4 plus 2.
Perfect. 4 damage.
You deal 4 damage to yourself and manage to slice your hand open, and you now have blood dripping.
Can I fill a vial with it?
You can attempt to fill a vial with it.
Alright, what am I rolling for that?
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Not great. 18 though.
You successfully managed to catch mostly all of the dripping blood before your hand slows the bleeding process down a little bit. Your hand is still bleeding, kind of profusely, but you know the vial is full now.
Perfect. And I'm gonna tuck that away for wrangling Sahajin.
And you're still bleeding.
I'm gonna rip off a part of my shirt and tie it around my hand.
Medicine check.
Alright. Uh, 14.
Okay, you successfully bind your hand and, for the most part, stop the bleeding.
Alright, cool. Cool. 60 health, and I'm ready for hunting Sahajin. Nothing can go wrong here.
Okay, we will get back to you. Back in the office, Masham goes to Stabbem and says, "Well, what are you here for then? I know Arendera brought you here, but I don't particularly see a good reason why."
I don't know why we're here either. You know, we were here because the Sahagi need help, if you mean here specifically. I would rather be anywhere else in the world right now.
I
What do you
would
mean?
rather have you anywhere else in the world right now.
Are you saying you don't like getting to see your family again? That's
At both of you finishing your negative connotations towards family, you get a flurry of blows from Punchum to the both of you. Doesn't do damage, she's just knocking you upside the heads again, saying, all right, this is a family matter. We can treat this nicely and not have to be so damn negative, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now apologize.
I'm sorry that Masham is such a piece of garbage.
You get knocked upside the head again. Be nice about it. Apologize.
I did.
Alfred's just
She
sitting out to the
kinda-
side, just trying to restrain himself from laughing at this.
She gives you a very tortily squint. You've seen the squint before. It is the prequel before a lot of pain.
Stabbem retreats into his shell, just deep inside of his shell.
You know that has never saved you from me before, right?
Stabbem will mumble something, but it's can't be heard.
Stabbem, for lack of better circumstance, there is a window, and Punch'em is lining you up like a kickball to kick you out the window.
Oh,
And
good.
she lines up the head of your shell so that you can actually see this.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah.
You know
No,
you're
this is
pretty high
happening.
at the moment.
This is happening. Yep. No.
Wait, don't kick him out the window.
She's
He'll
not
be
gonna kick
fine.
me
He'll
out the
live. I
window.
see this fucking cloak.
She's gonna punch me out the window.
You get
He just used the cloak. I don't know if it's ready to be used again.
before Alfir finishes his statement. You get punched very hard and propelled out the window about a good 30-40 feet before you start descending.
Okay. How many hours has it been since the storm?
It's been around 7 or 8. We'll go
Okay.
around 7
Then
or 8.
yeah. Stab's gonna mutter witchcraft and fly.
Wasn't it 9 hours?
That was at the after we had left the docks. It was 9 hours.
Ah, okay. So yeah, that should be enough time then.
It's been a fair amount of time, whatever time has passed.
Okay.
I'm assuming that Stabbem sees me slicing my hand open at this point as he's flying out a window.
No, because you did that in the building still.
Ah, okay.
I look over to Arendira. Is this normal with them?
This is, I mean,
Question: wasn't Arendira with me?
no, Azel's with you.
Oh, I can't keep straight.
Zell can't keep straight either. Ayo.
Nice, nice. So you see, stab him, you see punch him at the window, and she says, "Get your ass back in here when you learn to play nice."
Stab will stick out his tongue and fly off towards the town.
As you stick out your tongue and start to turn around to fly off, you see punch him jump out the window and is literally skating down the side of the building now.
Oh no.
Masham looks at all of this shit that just happened and says, "I'm really glad. I'm really glad I didn't have to apologize yet." And then Slasham's just like, "You do know you're going to have to still. She does not forget this stuff." And Masham just goes, "Oh shit." Arendira goes to Masham and says, "We really need this alliance with the Sahagin. You need to rethink this, please. Even Slasham is on our side here, and I actually don't think Punch'em cares. But as far as I know, Stabbem is also in favor of this. Please think it over."
It's a
Stab
good
being in
idea.
favorite is not gonna help Masham at all.
Masham just sits back down and says, "I've had enough of this today. Just get out of my office. I'll think it over. But this ain't happening today. I still want that fucking spell."
Have you tried going up to the surface to find it?
And go where on the surface?
Huh? Places like Adventure City would probably be a good place to look.
If you couldn't tell, last time we went to the nearest. Well, I don't know what's actually the nearest town. If Lindirk is that place on Tabaxi Island. Anyways, last time we went to Lindirk, that they didn't treat us too kindly. Something about the guards all over. I didn't even know that place had guards, but they decided that we weren't welcome there.
Yeah, those guards are gone.
What?
Yeah, we kind of ran into them and they're gone now.
What do you mean? You didn't just like murder innocent people, did you?
No, apparently that was related with the demon attack. They were keeping the entire village to in the mayor's basement.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been an eventful morning for us.
That was just you moaning? Like this? What?
Yeah. Then we went on a boat and now we're here.
Oh, this is all just today. So you guys are. We've been having the Sahagin problems for like months, and you're just coming in today thinking you can fix shit?
Well, we can try.
The fuck are you, adventurers or something?
Might be.
All right. Next thing you'll tell me, you actually got a name for your stupid group.
Me might.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. Get out of my office. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, you sure you don't want to talk more now?
Slashem stands up and says, "We'll be back later. We'll continue this later when you're not so testy over stupid stuff. All right?" And for lack of anything better, Masham sits back in his chair and faces the chair away from you guys and says, "Damn right." And then, as he keeps the chair turned from you, you literally just see a bright orange light emanate from behind the chair and go away, and emanate from behind the chair and go away.
Is he trying to start a fire? Or she?
Arendara says, "He's not trying to start a fire. He's a wizard. He can make a fire."
Oh. I guess while he's playing with fire, we should probably get out of here.
And as you are walking out, give me a perception check.
Ooh, I like this new dice. 25.
Be better just to watch the whole fucking place burn. As you're walking out, that's what you hear.
Your cousin worries me.
It's okay.
No,
He
no,
can't
it's
set
not
the
okay.
sea on fire. He can't set the sea on fire. He can't set the sea on fire.
Sounds like he wants to try, though. And we are in an air bubble.
Not for lack of trying.
Good times.
For lack of anywhere really better to go, Alfir, you and Arendara basically head back to the inn, Basham's Inn, unless you have somewhere else or you want to just do exploring or anything like that. It's probably too late to try to help out Sasha with hunting down the Sahagin. Sasha's quite a fair ways ahead of you by now. And might be able to follow the bat-winged Stabbem as he's flying around, but you also see randomly punch him jumping from trident top to trident top.
I probably don't want to get in between that. That sounds like a good way to die.
Oh, my wings are gonna run out eventually. Stab did not plan for this.
The worst part about a Stabbem is how close Punch'em has got a couple times to actually catching you mid-flight.
How many hours till recharge? 5 hours till recharge after these run out. Punch him. Can we talk about this?
Only after you apologize to your cousin.
I did.
Nicely.
It was nice. I did not hit him.
I did not.
Persuasion check.
Oh, thank God, I have points in that. I rolled a 2 though, so this is gonna go really poorly. 8.
I meant nicely as in you don't actually fucking hate each other. Y'all played nice before, all growing up. She does not know that that was because she was around, but you know.
Stabbem will fly back into the window.
So you are greeted by a very surprised, extremely surprised Masham with a ball of fire in his hands.
God, I hope he's not jacking off.
He is not jacking off,
Thank
but he has
God.
a ball of fire in his hand. And he looks at you and looks at the fire, and then the fire winks out.
What are you doing there?
Fire things.
Of course. Mom always told you not to play with fire. Anyway, I apologize. I'm gonna go out this window now.
Before you can go out the window, Punch'em jumps back through the window. Punch'em legit just scaled that building in the time it took you and Mash'em for that awkward confrontation. Did I just hear you actually apologize nicely?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, stay here for a moment before you fly the fuck back off.
Stabbem's
Mash'em?
halfway through the window, but we'll pause.
She also has a hand on your cloak, which means one of your bat wings. Mash'em, apologize to your cousin. And you're met with the most awkward of silences ever. And the silence just lingers on and continues and continues. And you see Mash'em think about doing the same thing Stabbem did and retreat into his shell. And Stabbem, give me a perception check, actually.
Ooh. I have advantage on those, and I rolled a 19 plus 8, 27.
You see him in the middle of casting a spell. Spell finishes, and it is silence. And then you see him mouth some words, and then he turns his chair around from you guys. And Punch'em is going, what the fuck happened? She's looking back and forth at the both of you. Stabbem, you realize that he did say sorry, and then he immediately just turned around because he also added other words to it that you could make out that were not nice again.
Stabbem will be, during the silence time, will also be adding his own unkind words.
So, mutually unkind words abound. Stabbem, would you like to drag your sister out the window with you?
No, Stabbem will just jump out the window with a backflip.
So yes, you would, because she's still actually holding onto your wing, and she comes with you, and realizes that you can't fly without that wing functioning, and grabs onto your feet instead. Outside of the silence bubble, she says, "The fuck did you two say to each other?"
We apologized.
Persuasion check.
I mean, it's the truth. 12 plus 6, 18.
Why do you have to do it through silence?
For respect.
If you say so. Where are we going?
To find the potato man.
There's no potatoes in acquiring.
There are 2 potatoes given by 2.
So, you're looking to find 2?
Yeah,
Isn't that
2
potato
gave 2
woman then?
Two gave two of two's potatoes to the Sahagin.
2 gave 2 potatoes to 2 of the Sahagin, so 2 Sahagin have 2 potatoes for 2 to take back from 2 of the Sahagin?
They have two of two's potatoes.
2 of 2's potatoes.
Yes.
Are there no other so 2 only had 2 potatoes? There are no other potatoes?
There are other potatoes, but they're not with us.
I don't think we're going to find them, though. I mean, if you can't tell, up here, you can't really see much of the city down there. It's all tridents. I don't know why the fuck our architecture's shaped like this, but it looks cool from
gonna
a distance, but up close,
try
it's
and
pretty hard to
Spot where the
travel.
most mayhem is going on at the moment.
Give me another perception check.
25.
Much like Punchum, as she was basically giving you the rhetoric about all that, much as Punchum was saying, though, the trident-shaped buildings does actually make it pretty hard to see below them, since it's all basically like covered walkways and everything like that due to the building shapes.
We will go closer to the ground.
All right. We will come back to you. 2.
Yes.
You have a vial of Sasha blood?
Yeah,
Question
no, the best
mark?
part about this, it's not gonna work either because I'm not dead. Anyway, so
A
Azel,
vial of Sasha blood? Question mark.
yep. So Azel, what are your skills and specialties?
Well, obviously I'm a wizard.
Good
I don't
start.
I can't pull off Bex's sass for Azel, so you're gonna have to deal
Wait,
with that.
Azel get taken?
Not yet.
Ah, okay. My order of events is off. Alright. So, neither of us are good in this tracking department.
You would be correct. I actually didn't really come here to actually help you track them down, though. I came here to talk to you.
Okay, what about?
Or rather, to you and Nameless.
Okay. Yeah, Nameless, someone wants to talk to you.
I can see that. I'm right there.
You know, I don't know how this always works. Sometimes you're me, sometimes you're there. Anyway.
Okay, so you want me to actually... I should probably be there this time, right?
Yeah, you know what? That's probably for the best.
You feel a presence leave you, Sasha, as Nameless's apparition actually appears in front of the both of you. You both seem to be down a alleyway that has no turtles or anyone walking down or anything like that right now. So,
Eerie.
how about that Sahagin hunt that you're supposed to be on? Nameless kind of jeers at you.
Why don't we let me worry about that? I'm sure that I'll find them. I really
How
want
are
that
you
potato
so
back.
sure? Why do you want the potato back? That of all the addictions I know you have, I've never figured that one out.
I mean, currently I want the potato back because it's a damn good way to control this Sahajin.
But why do you feel like you need to control? That's such a wasted. What?
I mean, currently we need friends in the city, and the friends in the city that we could probably easily get, Stabbem's family, want the Sahajin not to be rampaging through the city.
Isel looks at Nameless and says, I've been having trouble with actually feeling like a part of the group, and I know you've wanted to find a way to get away for a while. Nameless looks at you, Sasha, and says, "Do you know what she's talking about here?"
No, but now I'm starting to regret this.
Probably not a good time to tell you that I don't need to return to you then.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I've figured out how to do the whole apparition thingy for a while and maintain that form for longer and longer every time I've been doing it. So,
Fuck.
hey, I left it to your permission this time.
Yeah. Just go about it, do your thing. Not a problem.
You say this, but I know you still follow Legion too, so there's that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you sure? Isel looks over and says, "Well, Legion is her pact whatever thing, right? Isn't that how that goes?" Nameless looking back between both of you and says, "Are both of you clueless to what the fuck Legion is and wants?"
Yeah, whatever helps sleep at night.
I don't. It, looks over uh at Isel. Well, I was forgetting names for a moment there, and says, "Look, I want to try something, but we can't do it here. Uh, as long as Sasha is here anyways, she should just come with us to see what's happening so that she can at least tell the others. Okay? Okay. Follow me." And as much as you would like to follow Nameless, he literally just like goes through the closest building he was at.
I'm not a ghost. I can't apparate through walls.
Isel looks at you and says, "I guess we walk around then."
Always makes things so difficult. And I walk around.
So turns out the building you were near anyways happens to be Basham's inn, and you walk into the inn and into your room as Basham tried to is basically playing with the demon blood at this point, trying to figure out ways to make use of it.
Nothing bad can happen there. Sorry.
In the room, you two open and close the door, and Nameless asks Sohali to drop the Nameless form, basically, and Sasha, you see Sohali in her original form.
Alright.
Nameless says, "There we go. That's the better form, anyways. Now to the thing I can actually do. So, I'm dead. I can't channel magic of my own."
First bit of good news I've heard in a while.
Well, then this is going to be the super bad news for you.
Fuck.
She's not dead. I can channel her magic. And both of you look at Nameless in surprise as he puts his ephemeral hand on Sohali, and for lack of a better word, you sense an arcane energy just like well up from Sohali into Nameless as he says, "Ah, sorry to surprise you like that, but here, see you later." And uh, him and Sohali disappear through a gate that was opened up and vanishes immediately after they disappear through it.
Legion, we need to talk.
So something else happens now that that's a thing. you feel a lot less suppressed on all of your other personalities again.
And I thought you guys were just quiet.
And one of the personalities, too, comes back to the surface and says, "Did you know Nameless was controlling us?"
No, this is news. We may have a much bigger problem on our hands than we anticipated when we came in.
This is good for Bitcoin.
You don't hear from Legion per se, and you feel Two's presence again, as well as many of the others, but no other really viable information Two can give you besides that. Two is just like, yay, back.
Alright, we better hunt down the Sahajin. At least we can get the potato back. We
Alright. So you two head, you head back. You two, that's still work. Head back down the stairs.
Yep.
And you see Basham still playing with the demon blood.
Just don't.
And
go
Basham
any-
looks at you. Basham looks at you and says, "Did you realize what you had?"
It smelled kind of funky.
This ain't snake oil. You think I'm a fool or something?
No, definitely not.
I made a killing off of this deal.
Yeah? Care to enlighten me?
I do not.
Cause could get some more of that.
Okay, you might have my attention there. What do you mean you can get some more?
I mean, you clearly need a supplier, and I am an expert in procuring such fine material. But I do require knowing what you happen to have discovered.
I found the strangest sort of incense to use from this. Get you high as a motherfucking kite. I don't know what a kite even is, but damn, it works.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, yep. And what would be in it for me if I managed to get you a nice, steady supply of this?
A nice steady supply. How about portion of the cut? We go on this like 70-30?
I mean, I'm the one sticking my neck out and getting all of this. It's gotta at least be like 50-50 here.
Yeah, but I gotta do the business side of things. I mean, I know you're sticking your neck out and all, but you gotta realize the harder part of it comes from the business. You just do the killing. I think you did the killing. I don't. This is pretty fresh stuff. And of course, the fresher the better.
I mean, yeah, of course. Clearly. Fresher the better.
All right, fine. How about 60-40?
45-55.
Persuasion.
21.
You're really trying for this half and half bullshit, aren't you?
Yeah, gotta make ends meet. Call it the Stabbem family discount.
You know, I'm not sure when exactly you'll be killing more demons, so sure, we'll go with the 55-45 thing.
Alright, it's at this point that I pull out the vial of blood and attempt to summon Minor David.
Is that gonna work with non-dead blood?
Nope. Summon Minor David.
So you attempt the spell, and you get to the coalition of the spell, and like the circle and everything with the magic is formed, and the demonic symbol beneath where the demon was basically going to pop up. And then the blood is consumed for the spell, and your whole spell just fizzles out.
Perfect. Shit. Next time.
The fuck was that?
Delayed gratification. It's a specialty of us magic users. Check back in about a day.
In about a day. Why you say that?
Takes a bit for the spell to take effect.
If you say so. About this time, Arendera and Alfir return to the inn.
Oh, hey Sasha, did you find the Sahagin already?
I was just on my way out to take care of that. He ran into some other problems. Izel and our good Tabaxi friend may have fucked off somewhere through a magic door.
Did they say anything?
No, and I give him a wink.
He gives her a confused look back. Well,
Arendera also gives a confused look back.
Not here, We don't want to concern Stabbem's family with our group problems.
alright. Well, I guess let's find
But
them so that
Yeah.
let's find these Sahagins so that they don't cause any trouble that'll make things harder.
I mean, you're perfect for this job. Let's be honest, I was out of my depth. And I follow Alfir, who is hopefully going to track them.
I guess I shall try and track them.
Stabbem, as you've been flying around above the city for a while, you're starting to get the layout of the city pretty well from up there. And as you had skirted lower to be able to see better, you actually see Basham's Inn, and you see Alfir and two walk out of it.
Oh, okay.
Arendera following.
We will land next to them.
Punch'em lands with pretty good poise, but she still had hold of your legs and does not let you land.
What do you mean does not let me land?
As if she just kind of keeps you in the air.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Oh, hey Stabbem.
Hello.
Are you just stuck over there now?
This is my life.
Oh.
Did you find the Sahagin yet?
Apparently not, and we were just about to start trying to track him.
Admiral, I have recruited our best tracker for this cause.
Is it Alfir?
Yes.
Okay.
Arendera looks over to Punch'em and says, "You can put them down. They'll probably all want to do this job of finding the Sahagin. We should probably just go back to the city hall and see what we can do with your cousin." Punch'em looks up, and kind of just lets go of Stabbem's legs as he's kind of still flying there at the moment. Stabbem, you propel up a good 10-15 feet before catching your balance from being let go so suddenly. And she says, "Oh, all right. I'll pick on my brother more later, I guess."
Is she leaving? I hope she's leaving.
Damn, family's the best thing ever. Get away. Have a really good deal with Basham. Think I'm coming out on top.
What kind of deal is it?
You remember the things that we killed earlier today?
Yeah?
Just need to collect their blood and bring them to Basham.
Aren't that's
The,
that's
the,
a
the
long ways
next time,
back.
the next time we kill some of them, just don't worry about it.
Because huffing demon blood can't go bad at all.
Well, I guess time to start looking for Sahagin. Probably. I'd actually probably go back to where we started so that I can be somewhere where I know tracks start to start looking for them. So back to the city hall or whatever, since that's where they would have left from.
Wonder if I have minor illusion.
So, it's taken you a bit to notice it until now when you're starting to talk about the tracks, but the ground of the city, this is actually not a city that's actually on the seabed. This is actually sort of a raised city, and so there are, to go with all of the trident-shaped buildings, there are basically roads and stuff like that that look more like they're catwalks or any of that sort. They're basically raised bridges throughout the entirety of the city that lead everywhere.
Hmm. That's gonna
And
complicate
all
things.
of them are made from a marble-like substance, so no tracks are really left.
Hmm.
We need another potato.
I have that covered.
What do you mean you have that covered?
Don't. We just need to find them. I'll worry about how to get them.
Uh, did you see which way they Sasha, did you see which way they ran off after they took the potato?
Can I point Alfir in that direction?
Sasha, give me an int check.
This is gonna end so poorly. Actually, no, it's not. 19.
19, huh?
Yeah.
Very nice. All right. So you successfully point in that general direction, and you guys all pretty much head that way.
I'll head that way trying to see if I can see any traces that they might have left behind or their run through.
So, as trained as you are at survival, uh, it doesn't seem to be helping you in this situation. This is so far outside the scope of anything you have usually dealt with, and on top of that, hell, you're still trying to even recoup from wet fur still. Give me just a normal wisdom check.
Alfir smells like wet cat.
Oh, that didn't go well. Uh, a 5.
So you guys have seen Alfir do some pretty awesome things on the tracking front. Alfir is usually, whenever Alfir wants to find something, he usually tends to be able to. Even when those people really don't want to be found, or even when those people pay people off to not be found. Alfir is almost damn near just walking in circles around you guys, looking to try to find these guys, these Sahagin.
Stabbem, I think his sense of smell is broken underwater.
Have you tried drying off his nose?
No.
Or is their nose supposed to be wet? I don't touch his nose and see if it's wet or dry. Whatever it is, make it the opposite.
I touch Alfir's nose.
Alfir, is your nose wet or dry?
Let's go with wet.
Stabbem, it's wet. And
Okay,
I
dry
cast
off his nose.
Prestidigitation to try to dry off his nose.
Alfir, you feel a super annoying heat emanate from your nose real quick as it basically gets instantly dried off.
Make a
Did it
funny
work?
scrunching look on my face and trying to swat at it because it feels weird.
I don't think he likes that.
Try it again.
Give me a perception check. Stab him and 2. Alfir, you also start sneezing.
13.
23.
So Stabbem, you see off in the distance on one of the catwalks, one of the Sahagin running what almost looks like for its life with a potato raised above its head with both of its arms. And then you see 2 huge brutes of Sahagin and then a crap ton of smaller Sahagin all chasing that one Sahagin.
I'm gonna point these out and be like, are these the Sahagin we're looking for?
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Probably.
That's my potato.
Alright, let's go get them.
How can you tell it's your potato from here?
How many potatoes are in this underwater city?
I don't know. You never know.
'Cause I'm convinced it's 2.
Probably chase after it then.
And let's be honest, both of those potatoes are mine.
All right, as you guys also start adding to the chase, you see that Sahagin get tackled by one of the big ones, and then a huge dog pile happens immediately, allowing you guys to catch up a little bit. And then the dog pile disperses, and all of them look at each other, not really sure what the potato is. And then give me another perception check.
Alright, while Stabbem does that, I would like to cast Prestidigitation to have the smell of a potato emanating from my bag.
Okay. Stab him out for perception checks.
16 plus
23.
24.
8. Okay. Yeah. You two very clearly see a Sahagin sneaking off to the side, and then as you two make eye contact with it, it sees you two. You see it holding a potato curled like a football. And then after it sees you, it turns around and bolts. And then the rest of the Sahagin notice this as well because it was being sneaky, but then you guys noticing it very clearly, the rest of the Sahagin bolt after it.
How far is it from us?
This is about 100 yards at this point.
Which is much further than 30 feet.
Yes.
Do I blast it?
Do what?
I asked Party if I blast.
Don't hit them. Let's try and stop them without killing them.
No permanent damage.
I want that potato back.
So you guys give chase again. And what you're realizing as you continue chasing them, you're always continually getting closer to them, but there's about 3 or 4 more exchanges of this whole interchange between this whole keep away that they're doing with the potato right now. Somehow the potato still continues to remain intact throughout all of this. And by the time you all finally catch up, one of the Sahagin priestesses actually holds the potato, and it is actually scolding the rest of the Sahagin as you 3 catch up to it. And none of you can understand what the Sahagin is saying, but all of the other Sahagin's heads are drooped in what seems like they're in trouble.
Stabbem is familiar with this.
What do we do here, Stabbem?
Talk to the priest, I guess.
Need to convince him to head
Give
back.
us potato.
As you attempt to apparently talk to the priestess, she looks at you guys, and all you really hear from her is
Yes.
I pull out my
Right.
bag, I open it up, and I pull out a pound of salt. And I point at the salt, and I point at the potato.
She cups the potato like a football as well.
I pull out a second pound of salt.
Alfred gives her a strange look. How much salt are you carrying?
About 4 more pounds.
What? Why do you have so much salt?
Again, don't worry about it.
You're saying that a lot lately.
Stabbem, you can very clearly tell this is just like table salt. This isn't sea salt.
Mm-hmm. It's no good.
No good?
No good.
I really don't know what else I can offer in exchange for my potato back.
Stabbem's gonna motion to the general group and then point back towards the camps and imitate walking that way with them.
Hold on a second. Let me roll for that. Let me roll for Charade's understanding. Your charades have been understood, sir.
Excellent.
Yay.
One of the big Sahagin brutes comes up to you and actually like shakes its head no, though. And a charades comes back at you. So give me an int check.
17? What's my int? My int is +3. Oh, 18.
So from what you can see, as much as they've been playing what looks to be a game with a potato, they have also been trying to figure out who among them is the best to be a gardener to be able to plant the potato to make more potatoes.
Oh. Stabbem pulls out a... Do I have a trowel?
Do you have a trowel?
I'm looking at my equipment.
Stabbem is much more likely to be a gardener than I am.
Their huge game of keep away was that all of them wanted to have their own attempt at being the gardener, but none of them wanted to agree that one was better than the other until the priestess got the potato.
That's pretty great.
They almost squandered the potato.
Stabbem's got claws. Stabbem's gonna think a minute and then point to himself and then take a rock that's about the size of a potato, dig a hole, and then put the rock in it and then bury it.
There's a problem with that. You're on a marble bridge right now. There's nowhere to do that.
Yeah, that's why there were no tracks for Alfred to track.
Hey, Stabbem, why are you digging at the marble bridge?
Yeah.
They want to. I'm gonna indicate they want to make more potato by making the potato have sex with the ground, but they're arguing who's the best seducer of the ground.
I have a better idea. Why don't we teach them piracy and they can steal all the potatoes they want?
I don't know.
I feel like
I think
this could have long-term effects.
I think their idea to just plant it is the better idea. Just gonna say that. I think our whole reason for being down here would be much harder if we got them into the life of piracy.
I don't know, I think they'd be quite good at it. And I think they'd take right to it.
You're probably not wrong, but still probably not a good idea.
Fair enough. We could teach them to trade for more potatoes.
That's a better idea.
Just have to teach them common. Easy. Solves both of our problems.
Day 1 of 250.
I'm not gonna stay down here that long.
I can only imagine what a D&D campaign that would be.
It's probably faster to just have them plant it.
Stab them through more charades with the Sahagin. You gather the gist of they haven't really been provided food since coming here. They've been able to camp out here, but they've had to fend for themselves, which means going back into the waters and potentially dealing with whatever captured them in the first place. But so, as you have seen with them finding you, they usually do this as an all or nothing type of deal. They all go out or they all don't, because it gives them the best chance of survival.
They would make perfect pirates.
We don't need pirates.
So it looks like they need food. Do we have food?
I have rations.
Yeah, I've got some rations.
We've got mastiffs.
I pull out a ration. I point at the potato. Okay, I pull out a ration. I point at the potato, and then I point at the ration.
They point at the potato and then they football the potato again.
Fuck.
Yeah,
They clearly don't want food.
I think they want food that they can get more food out of.
Maybe we can convince them that they can plant rations, more rations grow.
But that's not how rations work.
I know that. You know that. They know that.
So we need foodstuffs. Where are we gonna get foodstuffs?
What does your family eat?
Seaweed mostly? Meat? Whatever
I
they
know
hunt?
exactly where we can get seaweed.
Could start a seaweed farm pretty easy down here.
Maybe
I'm sure
that's-
Basham would be interested in this
Um,
venture.
Stabbem, you notice looking at the Sahagan's teeth that they are carnivorous. Seaweed would not be a sustainable source of food for them.
Neither would potatoes.
maybe
They
we
don't
could
know that
use,
either, though.
Maybe we could use
That's fair.
food as something for your family to feel more comfortable about having them around. Trade food for them helping protect the city.
Stabbem, does your family like potatoes?
They don't dislike potatoes.
If they had the choice of seaweed or potatoes, what would?
It depends on how salty each one is.
Equally salty.
Then it does not matter.
Stabbem, give me another int check.
14.
Basically, another wave of charades happens from the Sahagin, and so they're trying to figure out a way to be able to provide something to trade to the turtles. They have nothing right now since they came to Aquarin with nothing, but if they can figure out something to be able to trade to the turtles, the potato is currently their best bet.
Oh. Stabbem will pull out a piece of gold and look at it questioningly, point at the gold and then point at them.
They look at you, look at the gold, and they look a bit lost.
Okay, so they
I
don't have
think they
gold.
understand money.
Okay, so Stabbem will sigh and put money away. Um,
How many shipwrecks do you think are around here? You could teach them to become
Stabbem,
scavengers.
it's true. Is there a market nearby that sells food?
There might be. You haven't really searched much of the city to be able to know that. You only know from the top-down view, which most things are covered until you get closer to them, and so while there probably is, you don't know the vicinity of what would actually be the shop area at the moment. It might be closer to Basham's area. It might be on the other side of the city.
Hmm. Okay, am I able to know where food is by smell?
However, while turtles have been pretty infrequent around the Sahagin, a couple have started to gather to kind of just basically have an onlook of what's happening in this on this bridge specifically with all the Sahagin and a tabaxi, a human, and another turtle.
I'm gonna ask them which way the food shops are.
You get a reply, but it says that but the Sahagin have no like they show you where they are basically, but they say that the Sahagin have no concept of money or food, and even if you uh like the because a couple of them are kind of just looking at the charades you were doing as well, and they look between you guys and they say, "This are you going to buy them all food for the entire time they're here?"
No, but we're showing them they can trade for food.
So now you have an entourage of both Tortle and Sahagin. Tortle kind of avoiding the Sahagin following you intently to figure out what this new fangled thing that you're talking about is. And you're led over to the markets, and you see a couple of the food stalls, some fish organized neatly behind a few of them.
Okay. So Stabbem will like put up his hands to cleric, like, hang on, wait here. He's gonna point at himself and then walk towards one of the places that are selling fish, pull out however much the fish costs, and in full view, hand that to them, and in return, take a fish.
So you do so, and you pay the requisite like few copper, I think.
And teaching them what copper and silver and gold is going to be difficult.
Okay. And then Stabbem will pull out one of each of the units of money.
Does that include Electrum? Do you have Electrum?
And just be
Electrum
holding them
doesn't
in his
exist. It's just
hands
platinum.
and turn his head towards them and like point at this and point at them. Have they seen this before anywhere? Is what I'm going to be trying to get across.
Give me.
Performance?
Yeah.
Thank God, my performance is +2. 19.
uh, it seems like you convey it well enough, and a couple of them do nod their heads yes. Most of them kind of just shrug and don't care. But you do have a couple that understand.
Should only take a couple.
It should only take a couple. So
What are you trying to do with this information?
I'll questioningly look at the ones that understand and be like, okay, where?
For lack of a better place to point, they point back towards what you could possibly see as the entrance to the city.
Okay, can I indicate that I'll follow them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are all of you following?
Yep.
Yep.
The turtles disperse because it got kind of bored to them. So you guys follow all of the Sahagin back. Most of the Sahagin also disperse at this point. The one of the priestess with the potato is who's being followed by the other Sahagin, but they're all back at their camp area. And the two that know, basically, they get to the entrance and you see that little pocket where you would enter the city from, and they point out of it basically.
Trying to
Okay.
Alfir, I ask, how long do you think we still have on this water breathing?
I don't know.
Stabbem's gonna indicate for them to lead on.
They both look at each other, and they both look at the rest of their Sahagin pack. And they look back at you, and they shake their head no.
Stabbem will point at the fish, though.
One of them walks off to talk with the priestess with the potato. And you see the entirety of the camp get up again to start following.
I feel it's important to remind you, I cannot breathe underwater outside of the spell.
Yeah, same. I don't know if is it still working?
Spell lasts 24 hours.
I know that human anatomy is
Stabbem
not
doesn't
your
know that.
strong point, but humans, and I'm pretty sure Tabaxi, not have.
Yeah, we.
As you're saying this, all of the Sahagin start 2x2ing outside the city again.
Stabbem will follow.
Stabbem follows, leaving you two behind.
Alright, I push Alfir through, and then I go through.
As you two both get pushed through, well, I guess as Alfir gets pushed through and two just follows, you do realize that the spell is still active.
Good.
Little bubbles form around two as two is trying to speak.
Try and smack Stash on the back of the head for shoving me out without knowing.
Alfir is completely soaked again.
Alfir wouldn't have willingly gone, let's be honest.
Nope.
And then I point at Stabbem and swim after him. Very
follow.
terribly
Alright.
in comparison, I'm assuming.
Stabbem swims pretty damn smoothly. Alfir and two, both of you struggle enough so that the brutes of Sahagin have come back to escort you. So basically, the two big ones are kind of as much as you can be carried through water, carrying you through the water.
Right?
And so you guys are led forward, and you keep going for a while. Not very long, just about like a half hour out of the city. And you are brought before what looks to be a few shipwrecks. From what you can gather, this was probably a battle at some point. And we will call the game there as you guys see all of these. There's like 4 ships in this shipwreck right now that you see. We'll
There's
call the game
money
there
to
for the
be
night.
had.
That's promising.
Hmm.
That's not what Miser had expected us to do with these Sajin.
How do you know?
I mean, I was ready to turn them to a life of piracy, so.
I was not.
I had like 8 different paths that could have gone.
Was piracy one of them?
No, that one was. I was pretty sure Alfred would have always turned that one down.
It's a safe bet.
And I'm also pretty sure Arendelle would have also always turned that down. Hello, Iris.
Hello.